The Carroll Dragons have a long history of excellence when it comes to the pool, an excellence that dates back even before the days of Coach Murphy. In 1983, Chauncey Willingham formed the Carroll swimming team, starting out with just a single female swimmer, Elizabeth Dunbar. He coached for 3 years, and Dunbar made the state meet during her sophomore, junior, and senior years. The team slugged away in the 4A division for a long time before achieving any real success. It was in 2001, under head coach Greg Fisher, that the Dragons finally won their first state title in swimming. In 2002, under Scooter Hutchinson, Carroll followed up their first state title and dominated the 4A state championships, scoring a whopping 300 points, while second place Cedar Park only managed to put up 205. The Dragons' dominance at the 4A level prompted the UIL to move the school into 5A, the highest division in Texas sports at the time. Over their first few years in the 5A division, Carroll struggled to really make an impact, coming nowhere near the top 10. It was right before the 2005-2006 season, Carroll's fourth season in 5A, that Coach Murphy was hired for the head coaching job. The boys' team finished 6th place in Coach Murphy's first season and came in 2nd place to humble Kingwood the following season, and even won the 400 freestyle relay at the end of the meet. The Dragons placed 10th in 2008, and at the beginning of the 2008-2009 season, they acquired Coach Lynn Gorman, who Coach Murphy coached decades prior when she was a teenager. The boys' team finished 7th place at the state meet during Coach Gorman's first year in Texas. The next season, the Dragons really started to take off and make a name for themselves, as the boys finished in 2nd place, just 9 points behind the Woodlands. It was at the 2011 state championships that the boys won their first state title at the 5A level, as they dominated the 2nd place Woodlands by a score of 255 to 181.
The whole team kind of came together. It's a common goal to win state. And, as the year progressed, we really saw that, our goals could come into fruition. And at the end of the year, with Connor Nolan, people like Connor Nolan, Ted Singley, Curtis Goss, those people as our team leaders, we were, lucky enough to win state, and it was an awesome meet.
The Dragons would repeat the next year in dominant fashion, breaking the 5A points record and nearly doubling 2nd place San Antonio Churchill's score, 286 to 158. In 2013, the Dragons continued to dominate the 5A division, as the boys won their 3rd consecutive championship in dominant fashion once again, outscoring the 2nd place Woodlands by over 100 points and breaking an individual state record in the 200 freestyle.
To be a part of, the Southlake Carroll Dragon history, something I'm really blessed to be a part of.
In 2014, Carroll continued to flourish, winning their 4th consecutive state title. Before the 14-15 season, all of the schools in the 5A division were moved into a new 6A division, and the Dragon men continued their winning ways, as they would go on to win their 5th, 6th, and 7th consecutive state titles during their first 3 years in 6A, each by seemingly a wider margin than the year before. They even broke their own points record twice in the last 2 years, scoring 295 in 2016 and then a mind-boggling 327 points in 2017. Without the athletes and coaches that paved the way long before state titles were won and even before Coach Murphy arrived in Texas, none of this success would be possible.
It's all about trailblazers. When I was in Oklahoma, I never had teams quite like these teams. So we came here and we sold some of the kids on some ideas, including weight training, etc. And each group has progressively gotten better and better. So now we have a pathway that's been blazed by the kids that went before the ones we have now.
In 2016, the boys became the first high school team in Texas and just the 3rd public high school nationally to go under the 3-minute barrier in the 400 freestyle relay, as they finished in a state record time of 2:59.69, just missing out on the national record of 2:59.00. The Dragon men look to try and win their 8th straight state title this weekend in Austin behind the leadership of captains Jack LeVant, Logan Davis, and Landon Jensen. LeVant looks to break a couple state records of his own, hoping to go after Carroll legend Jonathan Roberts' state record of 4:16.90 in the 500 freestyle.
Obviously, we have a long history of state titles here at Southlake, and so it's something that's really cool to try to uphold and carry on that tradition of excellence.
The Dragon teams have dominated to the point that, over the last few seasons, less and less schools have wanted to schedule them in a dual meet. At the beginning of this season, the program hired Paul Wallace, a former University of Texas sprint freestyler with about a decade of coaching under his belt.
We're excited with how things are moving forward. I'm going to try and last 10 more years, and maybe I'll be almost as old as Eddie Reese.
Every school record has been broken multiple times since Coach Murphy arrived in Southlake. Just another testament to what he has meant to this program.
I'm not too much for the accolades. I'm more about seeing the kids do well, and that's where my self-satisfaction comes from.